Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Recent events on General Hospital has seen a secret concerning Lulu Spencer come to light. Since then, there has been speculation that Lulu could soon be replaced on the soap. A source close to the story has recently opened up about the ongoing story. Lulu is the daughter of Luke and Laura Spencer, and was introduced to the soap during the 1990s. Originally born on the soap, viewers would see her aged up over the years, with various actresses bringing the character to life. Alexa Havens-Bruning is one of the more recent actresses to take on the character, joining the soap in 2024. Previously, she had been portrayed by Emma Roulan and Julie Marie Berman. Due to recent events on the soap, there has been some concern that another character might consider replacing Lulu. This comes out after a big secret has come to light. Brooke Lynn recently revealed to Rocco that Britt was the one to actually give birth to him, having carried him through an IVF. Early on, there had been attempts to pass him off as her the son with Dr. Patrick Drake, passing him off as Ben Westburn, but the truth eventually came to light. However, now there is concern that Rocco might mentally replace Lulu in his mind with Britt as his mother, especially as conflicts arise in the family. However, Rocco's actor, Finn Carr, has recently shared his view on the situation. Speaking with Soap Opera Digest, Carr shared that his character is more curious than anything. He explained, "I've been playing it as Rocco purely just wanting to know more information. There has been some tension with Rocco and Lulu, definitely, but I don't think Rocco is seeing her as any less his mom. I don't think him being curious is a telltale sign that he's going to favor Britt, or start to favor Britt more than Lulu, or anything like that. I don't think the fans need to be worried about any of that happening." The actor admitted that he's still learning what's going to happen next on the soap. He shared, "I don't know what's going to happen when Rocco finally meets Britt. However," he added, "so far, as of right now, I don't think he's going to be wanting to think of her as his mom or think of himself as Britt's son." In fact, at the time, Cal wasn't sure if he would have scenes with Britt's actress, Katie Thibaud. That said, he showed interest in working with her, noting, "I don't know yet if we're going to have scenes together, but I assume we will, and that would definitely be fun." In other words, fans will have to tune into General Hospital to see what happens next in Port Charles. Had you been keeping up with General Hospital? What do you think will happen with Rocco, Lulu, and Britt? The halls of General Hospital are buzzing louder than ever as speculation swirls around the fate of one of Port Charles' most beloved characters, Lulu Spencer. Dormant since her tragic brain injury and coma, Lulu's absence has left a gaping emotional void among fans and characters alike. But the big question burning through the fandom is this: will Lulu Spencer be recast, or is the original actress set for a triumphant return? As the storyline begins to weave in more clues about Lulu's potential awakening, fans are beginning to brace for a casting shakeup that could rattle the entire Spencer-Cassadine legacy. Emma Roulan, who portrayed Lulu with vibrant charm and fierce loyalty for over a decade, has not returned since her 2020 exit, when the character was written into a coma following a bomb explosion at the Floating Rib. The move was reportedly storyline-driven, and while fans held out hope that Roulan's absence would be temporary, she's remained off-screen ever since, focusing on family life and other personal pursuits. That hasn't stopped speculation from raging, especially since Lulu's mother, Laura Collins, has recently been featured more heavily on the show. The writers seem to be planting seeds for a major Spencer storyline revival, which raises the question: if Lulu is set to reawaken, will it be Emma Roulan in the role, or is the show preparing to recast? While there's no official word from ABC or the production team at General Hospital, insiders have hinted that the creative team is actively discussing how best to bring Lulu back into the fold. The character's absence has left unresolved storylines, most notably her relationships with Dante Falconeri, Charlotte Cassadine, and even Maxie Jones, whose own life has seen massive upheaval since Lulu's departure. Bringing Lulu back could not only ignite unfinished business, but also open fresh drama arcs, particularly if a recast is involved. For many fans, Emmy Ruilan is Lulu, and the idea of a new actress stepping into the role has met mixed emotions online. Social media lit up recently when a casting notice for a strong, fearless, emotionally resilient woman in her late 30s to early 40s surfaced, with many speculating it could be a code for a Lulu recast. This type of discreet casting call isn't uncommon in the soap world, especially when a major character may be returning under a veil of secrecy. But even more telling was a scene involving Dante and Sam McCall, in which Dante reflected on his past with Lulu with an intensity that felt oddly timed. These kinds of reflective moments are often used in daytime to foreshadow a character's return, whether physically or through a recast. What would a new Lulu mean for Port Charles? It's a question with countless ripple effects. Dante's relationship with Sam has grown significantly in Lulu's absence, forming one of the show's more stable adult pairings. But Dante and Lulu share a complicated history and a deep bond, as well as a child, Rocco. Reintroducing Lulu, especially if she wakes up to find Dante emotionally moved on, could trigger a romantic triangle fans didn't know they needed. It would also test Dante's character in a profound way, forcing him to reconcile his present with a love from the past. Then there's Maxie, who'd recently navigated through one emotional disaster after another. Losing Nathan, almost losing her children, and being manipulated by Peter, all while Lulu was away, has left Maxie without her lifelong best friend. The return of Lulu, especially if she arrives with a new face and a slightly altered perspective from her coma, could make for powerful scenes. The Maxie-Lulu bond was one of General Hospital's most consistent friendships, and rebuilding that relationship could provide deep emotional payoff for longtime viewers. Charlotte Cassadine, Lulu's daughter, also stands to be affected profoundly. Currently being raised by Valentine and occasionally checked in on by Laura, Charlotte has gone through her own dark transformation lately. The return of Lulu could be just the grounding force Charlotte needs, or, in true soap fashion, it could complicate things even more. Imagine a Lulu waking up to discover her daughter no longer the innocent child she knew, but a Cassadine through and through, manipulated by Helena's legacy and Valentine's darkness. And of course, there's the looming question of whether Lulu will retain all her memories. If the show decides to incorporate memory loss or trauma as part of her awakening, it could slow burn her reintegration into Port Charles society. She might not even recognize Dante or her own children. Or worse, what if Lulu awakens with a vendetta or a twisted sense of who betrayed her? This sort of psychological twist could shake the canvas and allow a recast to make the role their own without disrupting too much of the emotional canon. On the other hand, some fans remain fiercely loyal to Emmy Ruilan and have made it clear on forums and social media platforms that they'd rather see the character remain in a coma indefinitely than have someone else take her place. Their argument is simple. Ruilan's portrayal helped define Lulu's identity, and any other version would feel inauthentic. But daytime dramas thrive on risk, reinvention, and reinvigoration. And with General Hospital approaching milestone anniversaries and entering a new chapter post-writers' strike, there's increased pressure to deliver shocking twists and emotionally satisfying returns. Bringing Lulu back, either played by M or a new actress, could be the very spark the show needs right now. Rumors have also begun to swirl that the show has quietly tested a few actresses for the role in closed auditions, with insiders mentioning names familiar to other soap fans. While nothing is confirmed, some fans have floated the idea of a crossover actress from Days of Our Lives, or the bold and the beautiful taking over the part. If the right actress is cast, it could breathe entirely new life into Lulu's character, offering a darker or more empowered version of her post-trauma. Still, it's worth noting that soap operas have a long history of recasting characters, sometimes to great success. Laura Wright's turn as Carly is one of the best-known examples. Though multiple actresses had played Carly before her, Wright made the role undeniably her own, and she's now synonymous with the character. The same could happen with Lulu if cast carefully and written with emotional nuance. Recasting also allows for story acceleration. Rather than delay Lulu's return until Emma Relan is ready or available, a recast would allow the writers to immediately reinsert her into front-burner plots involving Valentine, Dante, Laura, and even Spencer. Given how many stories intersect with Lulu, bringing her back now could re-anchor the Spencer family as a central force in Port Charles. Adding more fuel to the fire, General Hospital writers have also recently brought back other long-dormant characters or hinted at their returns. With Jason Morgan back, Nicholas Cassadine lurking in the shadows, and Tracy Quartermain stirring up trouble, it feels like a nostalgic wave is sweeping the soap. What better time to bring Lulu back into the picture, perhaps stronger and more determined than ever? Whether the show will honor that return with Emma Relan or pass the torch to a new actress remains to be seen. For now, fans are watching each episode closely for clues, dissecting every mention of Lulu, every flicker of memory in Dante's eye, and every cryptic word spoken by Laura. As Port Charles continues to evolve, the shadow of Lulu Spencer looms large, promising drama, emotional upheaval, and perhaps the biggest return General Hospital has seen in years. Whether she wakes up tomorrow, next month, or early next year, one thing is certain. Lulu's story isn't over. Not by a long shot. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.